What is going on, world of YouTube? Welcome back to the Common Sense Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Grandmaster Scott, aka Scott. Joining me is my second half, my other host, Finley Fiction, aka Finley. Say hi to the people, Finley.
Hello.
Now, today is actually a topic that Finley decided to do, because after I finally finished explaining JoJo's Bizarre Adventure to him, I decided to let him pick today's topic.
I am very happy because we're finally out of the woods. We've done it. We've done all three.
Yes, and I just say I loved your reaction to heavy weather.
By the way, by the time that you guys are watching this, or if anyone's watching this, it's April Fool's Day tomorrow.
Oh, you're right. Wait. Oh, yeah, it is, because I forgot we post these at the end of every month.
Yeah, we are recording this around the time of St. Patrick's Day, so.
No, I do have some fun facts to share about St. Patrick, but I'll share them a little bit later, because for now, we are getting to your topic, which is...
Okay, we are just talking about indie animation. One of the things that sparked up this idea was, remember when I was talking about that, indie film about Link?
Yeah, Gruff? Oh, wait, no, not Gruff. Sorry, that was another thing we're talking about. You're talking about the fan-made Studio Ghibli-style Link Ocarina of Time trailer, right?
Yes, that thing, man. That thing makes me so angry because I was convinced that was a new Zelda game. Anyway, that is one of the things that has inspired this idea. So what do you want to talk about first, Gruff?
Yeah, sure, since I accidentally mentioned it first. I had only heard about Gruff when you brought it up to me, and then I decided to see it when it premiered.
Yeah,
and
I really liked it.
That is such a beautiful story. You know?
Yeah, I do.
Just the story of a daughter who... It's something that, honestly, I feel like a lot of people can relate to nowadays. Just people who feel like that their family aren't talking to them that much and getting to know them. But in reality, they are talking just in their own way.
Yeah.
Plus...
Communication is really interesting.
Yeah. Plus, the paper art style I really love.
I did think it was absolutely gorgeous, and I really can't wait to see more from that guy.
Yeah, Rocket... I think it's... Robot Raccoon, I think? Or Robot Rocket?
Okay, if that's it, look him up. He is greet.
Yeah, hang on. I actually have YouTube up right now, and I did sub to him, so I wouldn't miss it. It's in the R's, I know that. Righteous Robot.
Oh, Righteous Robot.
Yeah, seriously sub to him. It is a fantastic short film. It's only like a couple minutes, I think. But it is
I've noticed that a lot of the times indie animation just is so much better than what actually is going on in actual animation right now.
Which is even funnier when you say that, because a few days ago, a YouTuber I love, Johnny Razor, he actually did a short talking about kind of what we're talking about, how the current Hollywood setup is failing miserably, whereas the indie world is thriving. Because, you have Madam Web, which bombed absolutely.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Madam Web?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I heard, so many people not like it. And you know what I think is worse than...
I see why.
Now, granted, there is something worse than just the movie itself. And that's how the creators and writers are trying to defend it. They're saying, the movie's not bad, it's just the fact that female-led superhero movies don't do that well.
You know, superhero movies in the early 2000s, like Daredevil?
Yeah.
It is a very similar style to those, and I feel like people have just moved on from that, and that's why it didn't do that well.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
Also, writing.
That is when that movie takes place, which I think is great.
Ah, interesting. But no, the real problem was the writing.
Yeah, there was a lot of issues with the writing, but I think it's just enjoyable. I don't think, this is the best groundbreaking film. I just think, hey, it's pretty good.
Honestly, I feel like
it's fun to laugh at.
I feel like it's just proof that Sony needs to sell Spider-Man.
Anyway, we're getting kind of off topic. I
You're
want to
right,
talk
but
about this.
what?
I want to talk about this short film. Well, not short film. It's supposed to be at least an hour, allegedly, called Sonic Villains.
I don't think. Although to be fair, I have only been well, not really recently been getting into indie animation. I have not always been in that. Like I'm just dipping my toes into it.
Yeah, and this thing has been in development for 5 years now.
Wow.
It looks so good.
I'll have to check
I
it out
recommend
after.
checking it out. I think the channel is called just Sonic Villains because it was just made for that.
All right. I'll check it out later. One thing
Like I
I
said, I
would.
did tell you about it before recording this podcast. I suppose I will move on to the probably a much more substantial topic, which is the Amazing Digital Circus.
The Amazing Digital Circus episode 1 has been basically confirmed. It's been teased at least.
Well, episode 1 is the pilot.
Yeah, technically a pilot you can consider episode 0.
Yeah, well, technically, but in the trailer for episode 2, they literally said episode 1 is now been upgraded to the first episode of the Amazing Digital Circus full series.
Oh, I actually forgot Kane said that. So yeah, episode 2 has been teased.
Yes, I am very excited.
And a lot of the teased characters I cannot wait to see. You know, between the guy made out of cassette tapes and the man made of bubbles.
You know, I learned a little, like, the creator of Gooseworks mentioned that it was based, well, it wasn't necessarily based off, but highly inspired off this show called Poppy the Performer.
I have heard of Poppy the Performer.
It is horrific.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've seen. I never saw it. I've just seen like gifs of it, and oh Lord, that is horrifying.
It is the most horrifying.
Was that made by the same people who did Chicken Run? Who have also done a lot of other horrifying children's animation?
The people who made Chicken Run, I forgot the name of the studio, but they primarily do stop motion films, except for the exception of Fleshed Away.
Huh.
But yeah, it was not at all them. This was also made in Japan.
Japan does things differently.
And also, I learned a lot about this show. It was made with the worst budget ever. So they literally like, okay, we're not doing voice actors. We can't like go to all these new locations. It has to take place at all the same locations. We can't afford that many characters. They can't even do that much effort when it comes to design. To design the characters, but something I will credit them is one of the characters, which was like the purple wolf character. I absolutely forgot his name, but even if I remembered it, I definitely can't pronounce it correctly. He has this thing where he has like a mask, and every time he changes his emotion, a new mask shows up on his face.
Oh,
I think that was really
kind of
clever.
like that character, kind of like I forgot his name
Gangle.
from Amazing Digital Circus.
Gangle, yes. And I was like, that must have inspired Gangle.
Yeah, Gangle, that was it. Yeah, but
it's a her, I think.
I think it is her, actually. Yeah.
It is fascinating.
But at the same time, it's kind of hard to tell because everyone looks like an iTunes visualizer.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Because I mean, Zooble literally is just shapes. So
yeah.
But yeah, I love it. It does make sense, and I love the Amazing Digital Circus.
Is there anything you'd like to talk about specifically?
Honestly, it is a couple things. First of all, I feel bad for Pomni.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The character. Because imagine, like, this is the equivalent of, like, you get a brand new Oculus Rift, or, like, a MetaQuest, or whatever. The only VR set I have is a regular PSVR. Because those things are so expensive. So, like, you get a brand new VR headset, and you want to pop it on because you want to play some VR game. Like, you want to play Super Hot, or you want to do Beat Saber. And then suddenly, welcome to the Amazing Digital Circus. That is the equivalent of, like, putting on a VR headset, and then suddenly you're in the world of the Muppets.
It's just chaos.
Yeah. And I do love it. And the other thing I want to talk about, this is relevant in multiple ways because it's a game theory. MatPat has actually done a film theory on the Amazing Digital Circus. 2 of them, actually.
R.I.P. Matt Pat.
Yeah, well, he's
not dead, just retired, sort of, but not really.
Yeah, he will be missed, and I love that he did 6 different endings for his final theory. And I cannot wait to see what his success
was in the first one.
What?
The guy that he sees at the end of the first one is Scott Cawthon.
Oh, yeah, I know. But it's also kind of funny because, because even though that's the main ending everyone would have seen without clicking on the links to the other endings, the canon ending is just the wrap-up, which means MatPat never truly got the answers he needed in FNAF lore.
Well, my favorite one still is the Chaos ending.
Oh, I love the Chaos ending, because they're just having a nice vacation, and then, oh! And then my favorite is, like, throughout all this chaos, you got 2 people just on the floor, like, hey, look, I solved today's Wordle. It's
Anyway, so where does this tie into the Amazing Digital Circus?
Okay, MatPat, before his retirement, this wasn't part of his final 10 theories. Technically, final 40, because he did 10 theories for each channel. But he did a film theory, 2 film theories actually, on the Amazing Digital Circus. So I kind of felt like bringing this up and like thinking, like telling you on it to kind of see what your thoughts on this theory was.
Sure.
So his theory is that the Amazing Digital Circus is hell.
Oh, well, I don't like that theory because it most certainly is not.
Well, specifically, it's like...
I understand that every time it's like, oh, it is just a theory. It's just supposed to be a fun idea. Yeah. But I doubt your realism of this one.
Well, he's even admitted that this could go in one of those MatPat out of context compilations. So, basically, the theory he's going off of is the whole world was created by a company for some reason. It's been a few weeks since I've seen it. I've also been sick, so excuse my memory. But basically, the whole world is a kind of penitentiary for people who have done some form of bad in their lives, and Pomni was sent in to free everyone.
Oh.
So she's essentially, in MatPat's words, not mine, Pomni is the stand-in for Jesus, especially because she wears red and blue, 2 colors associated with Christ. Which as a Christian, it took me back a little, and now it's just, I accept it as a theory. I'm not going to accept it the same way as like a few of other MatPat's theories that I'm like, okay, that makes sense. This one I'm just going to be like, okay, let's just see where it goes. Like, I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but, I'll stay optimistic. But I also very much doubt that's how this is going to work. Honestly, I think if you want my own personal theory on the show, I think this is just simply a guy at a company who made a project that went too far.
It's very possible.
Stuff like in the person who I think it is, obviously, it's probably Kane. Just because he's the ringmaster of the circus.
Everyone's like, oh, Kane's the bad guy. When Goose Works herself literally said Kane isn't necessarily a bad guy, he's just naive to actually human emotions. And he's just an AI. Anybody who was like, oh, he's the creator, it's so obvious.
Okay,
no,
that's true, but I think
real.
He's involved in some extent. Specifically, if you want my theory, here's my theory. I think a guy was trying to create an incredible VR game that would essentially allow a person to just be like a cartoon character in an amazing digital circus. But he took it too far, and all of the people who are part of the beta test of it cannot leave. It's like an SAO situation, except they can't die.
Well, I heard a theory about how, like, Kane was just lonely in this digital world by whoever created it. Did he want to pull people in for his own entertainment? I also kind of doubt the possibility of this theory because if that were true, why would he want to like spend as much time with them as
And
possible?
this goes to another thing I'd add to my theory. I think he's a puppet. I think Kane is a puppet. So, okay, okay, specifically, I think he's an idea. Like in the real world, he's a dude who has great ideas, but no like ability to code. So he worked with another person who helped him code and gave him the powers he has as Kane, the stuff to do
He's
stuff.
An AI.
What?
He's an AI.
Oh, wait, I actually forgot that. So,
wow.
Regardless, I do think that he's simply a puppet. Like, someone is manipulating Kane. And that there's actually someone who's actually in control. But you also could be right that he's an AI. Honestly, it's such... The pilot was good, but it left for so much room for theories.
That's true, which is, thank God that we're getting the second episode soon.
Actually, you know what would make sense? This theory that I just pulled out of my butt. It would make sense that Kane was part of the Amazing Digital Circus was created by that company from the backroom style looping segment. Remember that Pomni was stuck in?
Yeah.
And it could be that he's just
off of the Stanley Parable.
Right, I remember hearing about that from film theory. So, I think someone was trying to send people in, but there could be like other AI in the world outside of Kane that are keeping the people trapped in. So like Kane is just happy to have people here, but there's someone else who's keeping everyone trapped. And Kane just has no real control over this, which is why he made a fake exit.
Okay.
So that could be a possibility. So
I feel like Kane legitimately did feel bad about there not being an exit, though.
Oh, true. But at the same time, he could also just be an actual child. It could be like a Papyrus situation where he's younger than he looks, and like he's like a different age.
I would like to establish that I feel like, well, I don't believe that either of us have any real theories that would have...
Yeah, do not take us seriously.
We're not...
Like... The Amazing Digital Circus community, do not take us seriously. This is all just us just talking.
Don't worry, our name is ironic.
Yes, it is. We call ourselves Common Sense, but we just kind of pull things out of just sewage drains.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But another thing I want to talk about is, well, first of all, something I feel like this is just my opinion, but any YouTube channel that does animation that's not associated with a big company, I feel like can be classified as indie animation.
Well, that is true. That is literally the definition that you just said.
Yeah, so in that case, like, while I'm just dipping my toes into animated series like The Amazing Digital Circus and Murder Drones, and after this, I feel like checking out Sonic Villains, even though I know very little about Sonic lore. I do know a few animation channels. One I do want to bring up just because I feel like people both know and don't know them that well is Pimations. They are hilarious. You probably know them if you've ever seen 5 a.m. at Freddy's or Suction Cup Man, if you know any of those.
I don't really watch Primations that much, so.
I love it. They also have a new series called Mike and Zach, which is literally just the two guys who primarily work on Primations, and it's just an animated, like, not really like a parody of their actual lives. And it's very hilarious. Like, there's an episode where they have to deal with a printer that's acting up. and it just gets really funny. Trust me.
Sure. I mean, sorry. I mean, I'm sure.
Sorry, but yeah. Oh, also getting to it, I didn't want to bring this. Oh, well, I do want to bring it up, but I didn't want to delve on it too much. Is I had gotten into murder drones recently.
Yes, yeah, neither did I because I have not watched it in a very long time and I haven't even finished it.
Yeah, last episode you said you saw was Promining, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I can't exactly remember.
That's the one where Uzi was going to prom, but she didn't want to go to prom.
Then I watched past that. I know I got to the part where but spoiler warning, by the way. I got to the part where N was like a butler for that.
Oh, so
thing.
you saw Home.
Yes.
Okay, so you're partially caught up. There's only one more episode you have to see.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, but then it'll have to be 2, because come the 29th, a little bit before this goes up, episode 7 comes out.
I don't know if you heard that, but I just whistled.
Oh, I didn't hear it, but it's okay because I can't.
Discord is lame because it doesn't want to pick up the sounds I want it to.
Yeah, if it's any consolation, I can't whistle. Like, I don't know if you heard it, but that was me attempting to
I only heard
whistle.
some of that.
Yeah, OBS probably picked it up, but yeah. But maybe. I love murder. Honestly, when it comes to animation, like whether it's channels or animated series, like I feel like that is my favorite.
You do know that Murder Drones is like part of the same people that are making the Amazing Digital Circus, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah, it's made by Glitch Productions. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I love it. The Promining is my favorite episode just because well, first of all, it has a good like horror element to it that I kind of love, especially how it's sort of a parody of that old horror movie Carrie. Yeah. You know, the one about the girl who was pranked as prom queen and then she gets back at everyone?
I actually have not heard of that.
Oh, it's an older one. Basically, a girl that everyone bullies is dubbed prom queen, but then she gets pranked by all the mean girls by having blood dumped on her, and then she suddenly gains psychic powers and kills all of the mean girls.
Wow. You know, it's something interesting that Michael Kovac plays 2 different characters in both of the series.
Oh, who does he play?
Jax and Ed.
Oh, that's hilarious. The character that no one likes also plays the character everyone loves.
Actually, everyone loves Jax.
Well, not the... Well, okay, the creators do like him, but they've also said... Yeah, that he is the worst. He is irredeemable.
Well, yeah, because he is supposed to be an homage to Poppy the Performer, who is a demonic psychopath who only just attacks and murders people for his own entertainment. He is an actual psychopath.
So he's
that show needs one big warning sign on it.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, honestly, my favorite character from the Amazing Digital Circus is probably Kinger. Just because he is the physical digital embodiment of Out of Context.
Oh, man, I love him.
Just like, did someone say something about a bug collection?
Another interesting thing about Michael Kovac, he also played Angel Dust in the Has Been Hotel pilot.
I have never seen Has Been Hotel.
I haven't either. Anyway, it's just more of a fun fact about him.
That is an interesting fact.
A lot of people in like indie projects, even though technically it's not an indie project anymore because it's picked up by Prime Video.
Yeah, so I don't count it.
I don't think I actually have any more examples, but I wish that. Oh wait, no, I do have one more. In what's it called? Poppy Playtime. He also plays that weird hand thing.
Oh, the prototype.
Yes, that doesn't even talk. I think he
it does talk.
Does the grunts for it.
Actually, he does talk. But
does he?
In a side game, Project Playtime. You know, the multiplayer one? Yeah, during the tutorial where they show how to play as the monster, the voice that's talking to Huggy Wuggy is the prototype.
Fascinating. Anyway, he is also played by Michael Kovac.
Oh, interesting.
He is a fantastic actor.
But yeah, to my opinion, it's once an indie project gets picked up by a big streaming service or gets put to big screen at like movie theaters, that's when it stops becoming indie animation, because that means a big name company is assisting them. They're no longer independent.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep saying that when that is common knowledge. That is the definition.
Well, I'm just getting into stuff like this. It's like
Well,
I had only just done stuff like this just because they were YouTube channels that piqued my interest, but I had never actually gotten into independent animation.
oh,
You know? It's like
yeah,
it's like playing one game of a series and then just getting into that franchise.
yeah,
So, yeah, but I feel like independent YouTubers, like obviously everyone loves them, but I feel like a lot of people need to give them a bit more like credit, because a lot of people will all like, one thing I had seen is like a lot of people complain that, oh, every episode takes too long to come out with certain channels.
well,
And
they
I'm
don't
like,
have nearly as much resources as the big names.
exactly. It's like, give these people time. Like, they don't have large buildings with like fancy like sound booths and all that. Most of
Oh, that
these
reminds me.
guys do this in like their apartment. They do these in college campus apartments.
Yeah, but I just remember, sorry, I know technically the topic is indie animation, but if I stretch that topic a little more, have you ever heard of Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Oh yeah, I've heard that it's a better take on the multiverse than Multiverse of Madness. I've heard like when it comes to movies, when they were delving into the multiverse, is like it did a better job of using the multiverse as a storytelling tool than Doctor Strange.
We're not, we're not here to trash on Doctor Strange. I think we
Oh no,
already
because
did
that was
anyway.
that was a good Marvel movie. It's like
Anyway,
it was a good one.
so technically, everywhere,
Everything, everywhere, all at
happening
once.
all at once is an indie movie.
That okay? I didn't know that,
It
but
had
yeah,
like the smallest budget, and it did so well. It got like an Oscar, I think.
yeah, that
I'm
makes
just
sense.
impressed.
I
Like,
haven't
this is
seen
what
it, but I
indie
do.
things can do.
I haven't seen it, but I really want to.
It's just amazing that like all these projects, like even Blood and Honey, which is an R&D film, did
Right.
so well. It's getting a sequel.
Oh, I had heard not just the sequel, but that same studio is making multiple other things. Like they're going to be doing a Peter Pan horror movie, a Pinocchio horror movie, and I think they're even tackling the Steamboat Willie horror movie.
But yeah, because also that is something that worries me. Every time something becomes public domain, are we just going to make a horror movie out of it?
Well, I mean, it's either that or you make like a dirty movie out of it. It's like,
The point
which
is,
of
we
the
can't
evils
actually
would you
do
take? It's
anything
like,
creative.
and like you can get creative, but at the
Yeah,
same
it's a,
time,
I wouldn't say a horror movie is like, oh, this is so creative. No, this is just like, let's make some money because this is funny. Like, I feel like Blood High can get away with that because it doesn't really take itself seriously,
yeah.
at least to my knowledge.
From what I had heard, it didn't. It both did and didn't do well. It was not that good reviews, but it did well enough in box office that it was able to make the sequel and spin-offs.
Yeah.
So,
I don't personally feel like this franchise is going to go very far, though.
oh, it definitely will. And granted,
Because
it's not
no.
all horror movies that are being used to abuse the power
Horror
public
movies
domain.
don't really... Like, I feel like it's hard to make a new horror movie franchise because the horror movie franchises we enjoy have been around for years.
Yeah, but at the same time, the same franchises have been dying down. Like, Halloween finally wrapped up a couple years ago when it should have wrapped up a long time ago.
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like making a horror movie series about Disney films isn't going to go very far.
Yeah, but at the same time, who knows?
Yeah,
It's like
I can predict the future.
for all we know, we could make the anti-Disney that DreamWorks and Pixar were supposed to be. It's
I
like,
suppose that's true.
but instead of being for kids, it'd be for adults to see their nostalgia turned gruesome.
That is so weird. People are so weird.
Well, not all public domain uses like that. For example, there's one YouTube channel that has been using Mickey Mouse even before it went public domain. And he just is a guy who does a Mickey Mouse impression with a Mickey Mouse puppet.
Oh, right, that guy.
Yeah, Hassan Kadir. That dude is hilarious. Like, it's never horror, he's just in it for comedy. It's like, you're right, there are ways you can use public domain without having to turn it into horror. But sometimes some people want it to be that way. It's like, honestly, I feel like the best way to justify this is mascot horror.
Mascot horror.
Stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy Playtime, the lesser-known Joyville.
That D&D machine. Actually, you know what's funny? All of those started off as indie games.
True.
Actually, no. Poppy Playtime is still an indie game.
It is still, but FNAF has moved out of the indie franchise ever since Scott Cawthon sold it to Steelwool.
That is true.
Hang on a sec. Yeah, I am texting my mom.
Right. The D&D Machine's game, the movie.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm going to be honest. I was one of the suckers who fell for the April Fool's joke they made once.
What joke? Oh, the
Netflix series.
Dating sim?
No.
Oh, the Netflix series?
The Netflix series.
Oh, not the dating sim, because that was another one that they did.
I didn't even know they did that.
Well,
although that would explain what's been coming up on my shorts feed.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. YouTube Shorts is really weird.
This is on topic for the time this is coming out.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to do this year.
I don't know.
Because again, we're not recording this on April Fool's Day.
Nah. We can decide who comes up with the next topic later. But I feel okay. Another thing I just thought of that can go on to our topic. I don't know if you knew this, Finn, but did you know that The Odd Ones Out had a Netflix series?
Yes, I definitely did.
Yeah, I saw the first episode, but that was only because he released it on YouTube, and then I didn't see the Netflix series.
Oh, well.
Although I heard that it got canceled.
It did.
Yeah. But, I guess that just proves that when you take an independent project and you move to big screen, it can be a big risk.
I disagree. Well, actually, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I am saying that Netflix just is like this.
Yeah, you're right. It's a risk if you're on if it's Netflix, but if you're like on Amazon Prime Video or Hulu or I don't know, Crunchyroll, if there's ever been independent animes, but it's honestly, Netflix, I feel like, is just a fish right now, a fish out of water.
Yeah, I am not fond of what they're doing currently because they're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks.
And granted, some things have stuck, like the One Piece and Yu Yu Hakusho live actions, I've heard are well, okay, I saw the One Piece live action and I loved it. I have not seen.
Well, I say don't spoil it when technically we've all seen. Well, I've seen the first season, but I have not finished it. And man, I love it.
Okay, honestly, there's only one spoiler element in it, but that's like it.
Also, man, the Avatar. Like, I understand that, man, the Avatar live action is not nearly as good as the original show because the original show is like flawless. It is one of the, if not the greatest animated show ever.
You're preaching to the choir, my man. I have seen every episode, and I have seen the first season of Legend of Korra.
But I can definitely appreciate the live action Avatar. This has gone so off topic. I can definitely appreciate the live action Avatar as much as possible.
Honestly, at this point, I think we're just going from independent animation to just animation in general.
Anyway, I think, well, to adaptations and stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
I think it is great for what it is. It absolutely destroys the the original movie, which literally looks. This is like, how do
The
I
original
compare this?
movie was
The
the one
original
that gave
movie.
us lame Tai Chi and the woman with the very phallic hairdo.
Anyway, why do people keep saying that?
Because
Anyway,
it is, dude. It is.
well, I'm not rewatching that movie to find out. Anyway,
Oh, you don't have
I feel
to.
like what's great about the show is that it like takes what the old one like just sucked at and improves upon it. The costume design, chef's kiss. The freaking music, chef's kiss. Everything.
I've even heard I've
Show.
even heard the combat choreography worked better.
Yes, the combat choreography is probably where the show shines the best. It is gorgeous.
One bad thing I have
And it doesn't
heard.
take 10 people to move a rock.
Yeah, one rock from some really intense, like, high speed Tai Chi. Here's a single slow moving rock that hits one guy. You know what's really bad about that?
Oh yeah, the acting. Like,
No, no, I meant
like,
about
the
that
first season.
earthbending. I meant when they were at the earthbender slave camp. You know what was really bad
Yeah, I
about
know
that?
that was garbage. What about it?
Is the fact that the location was different. Because if you remember, if you recall, in the first, in not first, in the Prime, in the original Avatar
Yeah,
Airbender, they weren't just in a piece of land. They were on an
they were on a
island, so
boat.
there was no earth for
They
them
were
to
on,
bend.
I thought they were on a boat.
It was on a boat, right? No, but regardless, they were in the water, so they could not bend earth. So that's
True.
why they couldn't fight back against the Fire Nation. But here, it was all around them. They could have used it at any time.
Yeah, that was lazy.
Especially since
Anyway,
earthbenders have some of the more powerful sub-bending techniques, like mud bending and sand bending, and then eventually metal
that's
bending.
true. Anyway, as I was saying, the acting in the live action series, like, I understand that in the first season the characters aren't nearly as developed. It kind of is weird when you translate it to live action. But as far like the actor for Iroh, he was fantastic. The actor for Zuko, he was even better. Sokka was probably the greatest performance out of that whole show.
Even
It's
though I
just,
heard that they
oh,
made a
man,
change that no one liked.
what change?
They made a change where they cut out his sexist arc and just.
No, they did not.
Oh wait, did they no? Did they change it?
Okay, it's not as pushed because they were pressed for time, but it is still there.
Okay,
But just not
but
as prevalent.
yeah, like that. There was a lot of outrage when people first
They keep
found
some
that out.
elements. They
What?
keep a couple elements. Again, I'm not expecting the show to be what the original was, and if you're mad about this, just go back and watch the original.
Oh, like I get it. Like when you're doing an adaptation of a live action adaptation of like a popular anime or cartoon, you gotta, or like of a book even, like with Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, you gotta cut some things out for runtime.
Also, if it makes anybody feel better, the last couple episodes they do the whole waterbending gender equality thing, and they expand upon it, even though it kind of backfires when we see all the women waterbenders like, oh, we're gonna fight, and they all look so sad and pathetic.
Oh
I
no.
don't know why they did that.
Yeah, especially but at least they attempted to put it in because
I
the whole
appreciate what they were doing. It's just bad direction is what was its downfall.
yeah, but honestly, let's be honest. It's better that they had kept it in than cut it because remember the whole sexism thing is like one of the biggest parts of the Book of Water. Is like the fact that the Water Nation is so sexist against women. Like that was Sokka's whole thing with the Kyoshi warriors. That was Katara's whole thing proving that she could bend as well as a
Oh
man.
yeah, that was one of the greatest parts of the show because they literally take that fight between Haku and Katara and literally directly translate it to live action.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry, I have not seen it yet. I've just been so busy with a lot of other shows I've been watching.
Oh well, that's fair. There's a lot of stuff this year. I also just watched Dune.
Oh hey, I've been meaning to watch Dune.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to talk about it too much because that is just too far off topic, and
Yeah.
also you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I guess when we're going back to adaptations, obviously I have seen the One Piece live action, and I'm gonna be honest, like that not only is finally a good live action adaptation of an anime, but at the same time, it did make changes, but a lot of the changes I actually prefer.
You say it made changes, but it's really not adapting the original show. It's more adapting the manga,
Yeah,
which
it
had
is.
changes for the show.
True, but again, like they made some changes, but I feel like a lot of the changes were really good, like both for storytelling and for pacing. Stuff like Luffy didn't accidentally eat the gum gum fruit; he just found it in a treasure chest that Shanks had brought back. Like I
By the
felt
way,
like
do
that.
not talk about Arlong Park. I have not seen that bit yet.
Wait, have you not finished the live action?
No, I have not.
Okay,
I'm very sad
moving
about it.
on.
I really want to finish it because
Okay,
it was did so
I'm
good.
not going to mention any more then. So, another thing I will say, one more thing I will add with the
But
live
I also
action
need
One
to
Piece
finish.
is the casting was phenomenal.
It was great. I do agree.
And it makes sense because Oda himself picked out the actors.
Yeah. Also, I think it's fun, like how in One Piece's lore, it has like a whole bunch of diversity in the characters. I think that is great with live action adaptation. So we could get white actors, we could get black actors, Asian actors,
Yeah, it
Filipino
was
actors.
fantastic.
It's great.
You know what's even funnier? Is the fact
But
that they'll probably be done with this is obviously a joke that's not true, but we'll be done with the live action One Piece before we're done with the actual One Piece.
oh yeah, sure.
Like that's always the joke. But technically we are done because the first season's already done, but it did get picked up and I can't wait to see what they do with Chopper.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I'm
That
scared.
yeah,
I'm scared, Scotty.
yeah, that's understandable. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's just pray that it goes well. Also, since we're talking about animes, technically, I feel like we need to say this. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. You changed anime forever.
So we were originally talking about indie animation. It just went
Yes,
so
yes,
off
we
topic.
were. Okay, on the topic with
Knowledge
indie
podcast,
animation,
everybody.
there
We make sense. We make sense.
we do. Yeah, and sometimes tangents make sense.
Not really. Not in this case.
Yeah, true. One indie animation I do want to talk about, one animation channel I want to talk about, it's one from my childhood I have not seen in forever, but I want to go back to, was Smashbit animation. Although, in hindsight, I should not have seen it at the age I saw it, but I did anyway.
I don't want to talk about this.
They're an 8-bit animation
I
channel.
said I didn't want to talk about it. I am aware of what it is.
Okay, yeah. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna go back to it now that I'm
I think we're
older.
busting too far out of what we're trying to do here. Let's try and reel it in a bit.
You're right. Go back. Jaden Animations.
Not an indie animation.
Animation channel.
Okay, man, man, I don't even know what to call this episode because it's just we talk about indie animation for 2 seconds, then talk about live action adaptation for the rest of it.
Well, granted, in the last episode, while I was trying to explain JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you had made a couple tangents on Madam Web.
Oh, that is true.
So,
And I also talked about
it's
the
like-
Netflix shows
Yeah.
of like the
So,
Marvel
like,
Netflix shows.
stuff
Yeah,
like
I'm
this-
still watching those, and man, they're so good.
But at the same time, I feel like we can still chalk it up to that, because here's the thing. It's like, sure, an anime, any animation always starts on YouTube, and then you just see how it grows from there. But at the same
Well, it doesn't
time,
always start on YouTube.
well, yeah. But when it comes to animes, they start as mangas that were just created by the mangaka, and by whatever, like, if he has, like, a team of writers, excuse me, and then it gets adapted by a company.
Yeah.
So, it's like, if you think about it, animes kind of start off independent.
Did you ever say what your favorite anime was?
Naruto.
Of course.
Like Naruto, it's been like my anime since my childhood, and I
I'm
love
okay
it.
with that, even though I've never seen Naruto and I have no reason or ever will see Naruto.
Yeah, although to be fair, I also haven't finished it. It's like I finished the original Naruto. I have not finished Shippuden because I want to see it in dub because that's how I've seen it as a child. And then I am just waiting for the day I get to see the train wreck that is Boruto. But when it comes to like animes of my childhood, like here's the animes I started off with when I was first getting into it. What want to know what they were? Here's what they were: Naruto.
Pokemon.
Oh yes, Pokemon, but also Naruto, Bleach, and Full Metal Alchemist.
These are just the classics.
Yeah, but I have also seen some ones that are like lesser known, like Samurai 7 and Erica 7.
Yeah, you say they're not well known. I've definitely not heard of any of those.
What, Samurai 7 and Erica 7?
No, I have not heard of those.
Yeah, that's fair. Samurai 7 is about a princess in an industrialized Tokyo who wants to get her country back to her family. So her father tells her to seek out the seven samurai who helped him and his original family in their time of need, known as the Samurai Seven.
Now that you've said that, I just got a huge flashback. When I was okay, have you seen the new Zack Snyder film, Rebel Moon?
No.
Oh, okay, because it really reminded me of Bug's Life, and this is now also remind me of Bug's Life.
Everything ties back to Bug's Life. It all makes sense.
The other day, I forgot what it was, but we were talking about another thing that also reminded me of Bug's Life.
I don't know what it would have been.
What it was. I believe it was Old Man Logan. Let me explain. First, okay, so the plot of Bug's Life, they had to go and fight bigger warriors to defend against the bigger threat. And I realized that this is a very common trope. But I first watched Bug's Life, which is the first, like, I thought that was the only thing that did that. And I realized, wait, that's kind of iconic with Westerns. And I was like, oh, other things do that too.
Well, know what else is kind of like that?
But in my mind, everything that does that trope is still just a ripoff of Bug's Life. That's a joke, by the way. It's just a joke.
But you know what other anime does that?
What?
Seven Deadly Sins.
Also, not watch that.
Okay, it's on Netflix, and what it is, it's about a princess who has to save her kingdom, so she turns to some knights who had saved the kingdom before, known as the Seven Deadly Sins. There are 7 criminals who are each synonymous with one of the 7 deadly sins. That's one of their that's what their crimes did.
The lore of it.
And as for who they are, they're Meliodas of Wrath, Bon of Greed, King of Sloth, Diane of Envy, Gother of Lust, but not really, Escanor of Pride, and Merlin of Gluttony.
I actually believe we have talked about this before, not on the podcast, though.
Yeah, it's been off camera. It's another anime I love, even though a lot of people hate it, but I love it. I love the storytelling. Mostly what I hear people don't like is the animation, but look past the animation, and it's a really good story.
Oh, that has great animation is Scott Pilgrim.
I have not seen Scott Pilgrim, nor have I played
but I'm going to
Scott
move
Pilgrim.
on from that. Have you heard of Bee and Puppycat?
Bee and Puppycat?
Watch it. It's on Netflix. Everyone, I understand that we don't have that many viewers, but if anyone is watching this, please watch it. It's probably not going to get a season 2, but I believe it needs as much support as possible because it was also it was kind of an indie series because it was produced by Cartoon Hangover, which are the same people who made Bravest Warriors.
Yeah.
And they don't really have big shows because it's all very. They don't have. I don't even know really what.
Yeah, I have never heard of Bee and Puppycat.
But Bravest Warriors was made Cartoon Hangover is in association with Adventure Time and stuff like that.
Oh!
I'm not sure how, but Bravest Warriors is in a very similar style. People have theorized that's in the same universe.
Honestly,
so anyway, it's made by those people. So watch Being Puppy Cat. It is great.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I
So
just haven't been doing a lot of like. Here's what my life usually consists of. It's playing a video game and then watching a show. But like,
that
it's
is
most
depressing.
yeah. But well, first of all, it makes me happy.
Well, that's fine.
But
Just
also,
do some other
it,
stuff in your life, man. Like,
I,
I mean, it's getting great outside. Go outside, man. Touch grass. And I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to the audience. Even though I can't really say this because I should really be doing it too.
yeah. But no, it's what makes me happy. It's what keeps me calm. It's what helps me just through the day and through life. Like,
That's good.
it sounds like depression, but in actuality, it's autism.
I know a lot of people with autism.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just what makes me happy. And granted, a lot of the shows I've been watching, with a couple exceptions here and there, it's anime. I've been seeing a lot of anime.
Have you watched Horimiya?
Horimiya?
Okay, you probably would like it anyway. It's a very wholesome anime, but I absolutely love it.
Most of the animes I watch, I'm going to be honest, when it comes to the genres I see, I feel like I'm going to upset a lot of people. I don't usually watch slice of lifes.
But wow, that's a shame because those are my favorites.
Like, granted, I have seen a couple before. Like, I've seen Spy Family. I've seen Daily Life of the Immortal King. Yes, that counts.
I bet I should finish Spy Family.
Yeah, I should too. I've only seen the first season. I have not gone to season 2 yet.
I have only seen like bits and pieces of the first season, but it is fantastic.
But yeah, the only time, like, I feel like outside of that, the only other slice of life I've seen, it was a movie, granted, and I doubt you've heard of it. It's called Summer Wars.
I have not.
It's about a guy.
I'm a little sad because slice of life anime, each man, Horimiya just makes my heart melt and just makes me feel like all my problems in life just disappear.
Like, I admit it, like, slice of life, it's
show.
a great genre. It's good if you're someone who doesn't like a lot of action or violence. It's someone if you just want to focus more on storytelling and relationships. And a lot of them do that well. And a lot of them are tear-jerkers, and I respect it. It's just, I just can't get into it.
It's so beautiful, though.
It's like, I agree. Like, I agree. It's just not for me, you know?
That is why you're the right brain.
Yes. It's like most of the animes I see, it's like a lot of the action ones. Again, like I said, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Full Metal Alchemist, Seven Deadly Sins, but also a lot of stuff like Fairy Tail, Yu Yu Hakusho. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. I love that one.
Oh my gosh, longest title ever, except not because animes have such long titles.
No, there are longer titled animes.
Yeah, there are much longer titled animes. Like
if you want to talk about something, just like if you want to change subject, you can, because I want to look up what anime has the longest name.
Well, I would like to establish what that original title for Star Wars was.
What was it?
Okay, I am probably going to butcher this, but I believe it was The Adventures of Luke Starkiller and something as told by the Fates. That was like maybe 1.5 thirds of it. Give me a sec, I need to look it up. Just stay tuned for this brief intermission.
Okay. Also, I found it.
Oh.
The anime with the longest title is The Misfit of Demon King Academy. History's strongest demon king reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants is an amusing power trip series. Oh, wait, no. The full name is just Mr. Demon King Academy. History's strongest demon reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants.
Okay, I have also found the original title of Star Wars. This is real, by the way.
Okay, tell.
The Adventures of Luke Starkiller as taken from the Journal of the Whales, Saga 1, The Star Wars.
Wait, Star Killer?
Yes, the original name of Luke Skywalker was Luke Starkiller, which eventually got reworked into a different character also named Starkiller.
It wasn't a character, it was a moon base.
Yeah, except there was also a character named Starkiller.
I actually didn't... Who was Starkiller?
He is, I believe, he's a character from either the Expanded Universe or some other Star Wars comics. He's not very in much, like, visual media.
Oh yeah, I see him.
I
According
think he's
to
also in the games. I'm not sure.
according to
I don't know that much about him.
Wikipedia, he
Yes,
was
you can always trust Wikipedia.
no, not Wikipedia, Wookieepedia. That's the fandom one.
Oh,
He is a free fighter used by bounty hunter Leshy Drobo prior to 20,000 BBY. It is not saying where he came from. It is just this. He must be from one of the other forms of Star Wars, like the deep cuts in like the extended novels and stuff like that.
anyway, this is just we're inviting our audience just to look it up yourself.
Yeah. So, not really much else to talk
We
about.
were talking about indie animation. What
Yes,
has
we were.
happened?
I guess since we're getting a little bit close to the end, about like 5 minutes, I feel like we should just do like a little wrap up, just saying, like, just because some like, and especially this kind of goes out to bigger companies as well. It's like just because something has the word indie in it doesn't mean it's bad or low quality, because a lot of stuff that's independent oftentimes gets a lot more love for it than like the stuff Hollywood makes.
Yeah, I suggest that everyone would take their time into like investing their time into these projects, even some money if the creators need it. Except Spider-Man Lotus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's like it. That's like it's not necessarily the film. It's kind of just the creation process that was going on behind the scenes of Spider-Man Lotus. It was some bad stuff.
Yeah. Also, one more thing I want to bring up is to really end this off on what we planned this on, kind of like a sandwich. There are 2 more animation channels I kind of want to talk about. And
Sure.
Those being Art Spear Animation and How It Should Have Ended.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you just opened up my whole like life.
Yeah.
Finally,
I only got into it.
This is the Clash of the Titans for me. They are both very similar, and I love them both.
I do too. It's like I only got into Art Spear Animation the same way I got into the Amazing Digital Circus, by watching a YouTuber react to it. So shout out to Patters for getting me into indie animation, basically.
Have you watched Untrue Crime? Please tell me you've watched it.
I've never heard of Untrue Crime.
Okay, so the creators of Art Spear Entertainment, who also made like Fanfictasia, which also I'm very excited for the next episode of.
Fanfictasia!
Watch it. But so they also made another series, which is like about, I would say, 1 hour and 30 minutes worth of episodes about them solving the homicide of what was her name, Kate Ashel. I don't know. It is a live action like it's a mockumentary series.
Oh, it's unfiction.
It is fantastic, man. Actually, we should watch it together.
Oh, maybe. Hey, you know what? I would have to first get permission, but we could do it as like a stream on my channel, just a watch party.
No, I kind of just want to do it just the 2 of us.
Okay, well then, I guess something me and Finley are planning is a watch party of just he and I watching Untrue Crime.
Yeah, I mean, crap, how do I say this? I mean, we could do, I would love to do that with you.
Yeah, all right. So, and then How It Should Have Ended is just hilarious.
It is fantastic. Like, even though I feel like their style, I feel like isn't as great as it used to be, it's still, I think.
Yeah, they basically still keep the same premise, whereas, like, honestly, they apply more common sense than we do to topics.
That is true.
But they also, obviously, they just take their jokes here and there. Like, my favorite How It Should Have Ended is how Spider-Man Homecoming should have ended. That is my favorite.
Spider-Man. Oh yeah,
that's the one that was done by the fans.
I have a daughter. That makes it okay for me to break the law.
I'm not a bad person. Like, can I be your guy in the chair? No, come on, let me be your guy in the chair. Oh, I'm the guy in the chair. There can only be one.
Man, we are making so many references.
And of course, like, I'll kill you and everyone you love. I love Liz.
Why?
Does that mean you'll kill your own daughter too? You win this round, Spider-Man. And then he's like, I'll kill you. Arm grab. Did you know that I have super strength? Let go my arm. It must suck that you don't have super strength. Let go my third punch. Help! This man has a gun and he's threatening my life. And then
I'll kill you and everyone you love. Why? Because I'm Batman.
Because I'm Batman. What?
You know what's funny? While they were filming Spider-Man No Way Home, Michael Keaton actually would like go up behind Tom Holland in the Vulture costume and just whisper in his ear, "I'm Batman."
I forgot it was Michael Keaton who did the Vulture. Oh my god!
If anybody doesn't know, he also played Batman.
Right. You know what? One of my favorite facts about the Home trilogy is?
What?
It's that this is a hilarious one. During, I think it was either No Way Home or Far From Home, but during one of the scenes when Tom Holland is carrying Zendaya and swinging, he apparently farted.
Oh.
And he was really embarrassed about it. It was like when they were starting to date, he was really embarrassed about it.
Tom.
Yeah. Tom Holland, honestly, while I feel like he's being a little overused in Hollywood, he is still a fantastic Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, not since Tobey Maguire has there been a good Spider-Man.
Okay, I feel like we've now just heard Rain about to wrap up here.
Oh, yeah, we have hit the hour mark, and at least we've wrapped it up talking about independent animation.
At least this isn't JoJo's lore where we need to take 5 hours to
Honestly, I feel like I could have shortened it down if I had written a script. But also,
yeah.
I feel like I do need to point this out. I did forget 2 things when I was explaining the lore in the last episode.
All right, you texted that to me as soon as we stopped recording. He was like, never mind.
I forgot. And to explain what I forgot, if anyone either doesn't know or didn't see, I forgot about what happened with Jolene's ex. They went to him because they needed a car and...
Lore Part 4.
What?
Sorry, I was saying this is Gift of Lore Part 4.
No, it's only 2 things. It's short. They went to her ex-boyfriend because they needed a car and he was rich. They patched things up. He didn't call the cops on her. But because they had copied his tongue, they still felt like getting back at him. So he got smacked in the face with his own tongue.
Boy.
And also Foo Fighters died.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about the Foo Fighters? There's a band I really love called the Brobex, and one of the members literally formed the Foo Fighters, and still no one ever talks about the Brobeck.
Well, not until now they do.
I might be getting that wrong, by the way, just in case. I don't want to spread false information,
But yeah, Foo Fighters died while they were trying to catch Poochie before he could get to the Green Child. And she died when Poochie had exposed her to hot water. Hot water so hot that it would have killed microorganisms that made up Foo Fighters. So yeah, that's how she died. She also got electrocuted. But that was beforehand.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us for an hour of us getting sidetracked.
Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, there's only so much a person can talk about with indie animation, but before getting sidetracked, I
suppose that's true.
So, yeah. Thanks everyone so much for listening in to this episode of the Common Sense Podcast, where I feel like we should change the name. Because we have not applied common sense in any episode.
I'm sure one day.
One day, maybe.
Also, happy April Fool's Day.
Of course, happy April Fool's Day, and I know it's also...
And this, by the way, this was not a prank. This was all us just talking.
Okay, Finn, remember, these go the last day of the month, not the first day of a month. So
whatever.
No one will ever... So
it's just when Rick and Morty did it, everyone was like, what?
Rick and Morty, they get a pass for being Rick and Morty.
They actually put their first episode on a streaming service on April Fool's Day, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's a joke." And
then it wasn't a joke. And then it wasn't a joke. All right. Tune in next time, everybody, for the next episode of the Common Sense Podcast. Thank you all for watching. Finley, any last words?
I feel like we need a better intro. I mean, outro.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Bye.